y'all? This is Dell Corcetti. Y'all watching the best interview in the world of 24/7 live culture, and this is Who's Hot exclusive.
What's up, people? This is Angelique Henderson. I'm here with 24/7 Live Culture. I'm here with Dell Corcetti for another Who's Hot exclusive. Dell Corcetti, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are.
My name is Dell Corcetti. I'm from Philly. I'm 19 years old, and I'm a rapper. I don't even like to call myself a rapper. I'm an artist
I love that. What makes you say artist instead of just rapper?
because I feel like when I say rapper, I'm putting myself in a box, and I don't just make rap music. That's not all that defines me.
Tell us more about your artistry and how you got started rapping.
Well, I got started rapping. I got my start in rapping from the SoundCloud era originally. Back in 2017, I was very inspired by it, and I listened to a lot of those songs. And you know, I just thought to myself, if they could do it, why couldn't I do it? Basically, and I really wanted to, get my foot in the door of rapping, but it was always like I was kind of afraid to get made fun of in school and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a tug of war with that within myself. But it was one day I was talking with my sister, and she was telling me, like, if you really want to make music, you really want to rap, like this really what you want to do, you got to be all in. You really got to, give yourself to your craft and really lock in on it. So ever since then, that's just how I've been rocking with it. People made fun of me, people said so and so, but the same people that was saying that is the same people that mess with my music now. So it's like, yeah.
That's facts. Shout out to your sister. Sometimes we all need that person in our life to just encourage us and to let us know that we can do it. And the only person sleeping on us at the end of the day is ourselves. Once we wake up to ourselves and our own greatness, here you are giving interviews, telling us about your 3 projects, and you're doing it and you're walking the walk. Speaking of which, I know you have 3 projects. 2 of them came out in 2020. The most recent one came out this year. Tell us about the most recent project first.
So the most recent project is it's called Me and Me. And really when I was making that project, I was just looking to show my evolution as an artist, like if you listen to my old projects, over the span of each of those projects, you can hear with each project how I was growing in different ways that I was developing through each project. And with this new project, I really just wanted to show, like, this is the definitive version of Del Corsetti. Like, this is where I'm at right now. Like, when it comes to my flows, the lyrics, everything, it's just me showing this is my development as an artist, and this is where I'm at. It's me and me, basically. Yeah.
And me, wow. And you have evolved so much, and we'll definitely get into the different projects, but tell us about your favorite song on the most recent project.
My favorite song? That's a hard one, but I'm not gonna say one song for sure, but I will say one of my favorite songs on the project is a song called Northern Lights. I really like that song just because the beat, like the sample that's used, it's like this old Italian sample. And if you listen to the song, like, you'd hear for yourself, like it's captivating. It sounds almost like a lullaby in a way. Like just the way that it sounds, like it's a feeling. I can't even put it into words. It just captivates you. It just makes you want to keep listening. And this is something I've heard from people that listen to the song for themselves. So
Yeah, it does. It
yeah.
does. And I noticed that because you also have a track called Barcelona. So is that intentional in terms of naming different songs after geographical locations? How did that come about for you?
So with Barcelona, I was really just trying to make a hype song
Okay.
because, you know, I I feel like a lot of the time I make more R&B-ish type music, more just like singing and using my voice in that way. And with Barcelona, it was me just stepping into the more like grungier, like punchier, harder type sound. And it was just a line in the song, like they try and find me, I'm at Barcelona. Like, it was random, but I just felt like it was hard. So that's why I named it that. Yeah.
Mm. I studied abroad in Spain and visited Barcelona. So that's one of my favorite tracks from that project. I was like, hey, shout out to Barcelona.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
really cool. You have a really authentic sound, and I can tell it's rooted in your experiences growing up in Philly and just being true to where you come from. So I really respect that about your artistry.
Thank you, thank you.
How long did it take to go from start to finish with Me and Me?
Um, well, a lot of the songs were older songs, so a lot of the songs on Me and Me I recorded from like a year before, like a year prior. There were songs that I just had sitting there, and some of them I went back and I tweaked them, made them up to date, up to the standard of which I was at the time of making Me and Me. And I'd say for this like the newer songs that I recorded for Me and Me, that was just like probably like a 2 month process, 2 month process. I've been at planned out Me and Me like for 4 months prior, and I was just working on it at the time, just really trying to get it to where I knew it could be. And a lot went into it. A big shout out to my friend Joshua Cherry. He helps me write all my music, and he was really a big part when it came to making that album what it was. And yeah, the album was really just it's a special album to me.
That's
Special
really.
album, sure.
Were there any particular artists who inspired some of the tracks for that album?
I'd say Ken Carson inspired Barcelona. Ken Carson inspired Barcelona. I have a like a poppier type track. Um, it's called Coming Through, and Don Toliver inspired that.
Mm.
Yeah, Don Toliver is a big inspiration to me, like one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to music.
Shout out to him. Yeah, he's real dope.
Yeah, I want to make a song with him someday.
There you go. You put it out there. You put it out there.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, that's really cool. Congrats on your project, man. And again, it's your third one. So you've been doing this for a while. You're putting in the work and it's definitely paying off.
yeah.
I am a girl's girl. So on Starstruck, I love Love Letter too. Tell us about the inspiration for
So
that track.
so yeah, a lot of people love Love Letter. Love Letter was another one that my friend Yeshua had helped me with. Um, when it came to making Love Letter, I was inspired by Trippy with that album,
Okay.
and not album with that song. And when it came to making that song, I was really just trying to capture that feeling of like you love somebody. It's like a letter to your lover basically. And even with how simple not the piano, the guitar playing in the background is, like it sounds like simple love. Like that's what I was going for with the song. Like
Hmm.
yeah, I was really just trying to make one of those type of songs.
It
So
definitely reminds me of Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill's like "By Your Heart" song. But do
I have
you
to
know
check that out. I'm not familiar with that one. I'm not check that out.
okay. But yeah, like I feel like Meek sometimes puts out tracks that, it's for the ladies, like
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
love type songs.
one of them.
Was Love Letter inspired by anyone in particular that you want to shout out?
Nah.
No, no one in particular. All right.
Yeah,
I
that
was
one,
I was
it's
fishing a little
universal.
bit. I was fishing a little bit, but it's okay. It's a dope track. Y'all check it out. Love Letter. It's yeah, like you said, it's really a straight up dope rap song
Yeah.
inspired by the feeling of love and what a woman does to a man when she, reels him in. So it's a really cool track. Anything else from Starstruck that you want to shout out or talk about?
Um, I'd say no, actually, no, nothing from Star Trek I can think
Yeah,
of.
I feel like tonally, Starstruck and Me and Mir are relatively similar. And I
Yeah.
know timeline wise, they were closer in time to your first project, Evolve. So Evolve, first project, just throwing it out there, figuring out your sound and all of that. How did Evolve come about? I know we talked a little bit about how you did that during quarantine. You just had a lot of time, so you threw it into this project. Tell us about the process of Evolve.
So I just had a lot of time on my hands, and I was just in the house all the time. I would get on the phone with my friend Yeshua, and we would start having a session, cooking up. And I felt like Evolve was me kind of stepping out of the shell that I had kind of been in before, prior to that album. I was kind of making the same type of music and the same type of sound. And that was my earlier sound where my mixing wasn't as good. And even in Evolve, compared to where my mixing is at now, Evolve wasn't even that good compared to where it's at now. But Evolve was just another step in my journey. And that's why I named it Evolve, because I was just making a bunch of songs and I was working on my flows and my melodies and my singing and my voice, really. So that's why I called it that, because it was just me evolving, really. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What track are you most proud of on Evolve?
Um, time.
Mm,
Time.
why time?
Because before time, I really didn't want to do any R&B type of music, because you know it's like corny or soft to make this type of music, and I didn't like being vulnerable at the time with my music. And Evolve was me just really realizing that it's okay to be vulnerable in your music, and that's what makes people attracted to your music and allows them to walk away from your track with something that can better their own life, or at least feeling like someone else is going through what I'm going through, and I'm not alone in this. And it helps people, really. So I'm most proud of that, because that was the first time I stepped out of my shell and I did something that was R&B type of vibe, and I was just being more open, you know.
That's
Yeah.
That's really big. And I love how, like you said, it really is a relatable track because we can all relate to that process of evolving, figuring out how to use our time wisely, and then seeing who we develop into as a result of the different things that we give our time to. So that's deep. That's really deep.
That's what
And
life is about, evolution.
yeah, how would you say you've evolved throughout those three projects?
My mixing has evolved, my lyrics have evolved, and my flows have evolved, my melodies, my voice. Even when it came to making Starstruck, I noticed, just like when I was singing, it just felt more natural. It was coming easier to me. My voice just naturally had been able to just hit notes that I wasn't able to hit before, and just do things that I wasn't able to do. I started experimenting with vibrato. I started, just doing a lot more with my voice. And I hadn't even noticed that I was evolving my voice. Like, I was just making music, and naturally I just started to get to that point where I could do more with my voice. And until one day I just noticed, like, oh shit, I can do vibrato now. Like, wow. Yeah. So that's really that.
Who has helped you throughout your journey in that evolution process?
Um,
I know you mentioned Yeshua.
yeah. Uh, Aside from my friend, I would say just listening to different artists, really. Like, I was really into the underground scene at the time, and I was listening to a lot of up and coming artists, and I was just listening to the way that they were using their voice, and I was trying to think of ways in which I could improve on that type of style. And I'd say listening to a lot of The Weeknd at the time,
Mm.
really got into Don Toliver. That's like really where the base of my sound came from. Um, Post Malone, a lot of these other artists that I looked up to, you know, really helped me form my evolution and my sound, really. Like it was just me. It was just me in my house alone. So I would just always be listening to this music. I just had a constant rotation of music around me that I was able to pull from and craft my own sound from. Do it in my own way. Take little pieces of each sound and fit them where they need to go. Really.
And that's,
So
and it sounds like you really took the time to dedicate to that process of, all right, well, what does this person sound like? What does that person sound like? But making sure out of that process, you've come up with your own unique sound and it shows. So
and
that's
I feel like that's why it's important not to have an ego with music because a lot of people get too ahead of themselves and they think, oh, I'm better than all these other people, and they start to lose sight of learning from other artists. Like I'm never gonna feel like I'm too good to learn from someone else. Like even artists that are on my level, like you can always take something from someone else and use it and apply it to your music to enhance your music. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. I love that, taking the ego out of it and
yeah,
be
definitely.
humble, knowing that we all always have room for growth and for evolution. So what's the next step in your process of evolution and in growth with your music journey?
Really, the next step is just it's working on the content of my music. I feel like I've really gotten my sound down and I've gotten my melodies, my flows, everything. I figured that out and I'm really happy where that's at. Now I want to work more so on my lyrics and what I'm saying and, you know, just giving it adding another layer of depth to my music, really, like making people think more. I really want to make people think more of my music. And it's like I I've gotten to the point where I will start doubting a song because I listen to it so much and I start to just like pick every little thing apart. And it's good to do that sometimes, and sometimes it's bad to do that. But for where I'm trying to go with my sound and what I'm trying to do with my music and the way I'm trying to evolve onto my next step, I feel like I need to I need to start having more substance to my music. I want to really say more than what I'm currently saying, what I've been saying. I feel like I haven't worked on that enough, and I can hear it, and it annoys me when I hear it, and because it annoys me, I want to work on it more. So that's where I'm at.
What type of message do you think that's going to be, if you have an idea?
One that's true to me, and that will be true to whoever's listening. Exactly what that is, I can't tell you. I only know when I'm making the song and I feel the energy there. And yeah,
As long as it's true and authentic, you're right. That's the most important part. People
yeah,
can tell when people are faking it and being fraudulent, especially in music. So
yeah, yeah.
that's
That's
good.
where I don't want to fake nothing.
Yeah, definitely keep it real. And I know you also want to develop more in terms of a pop or more commercial sound. What does that
Yeah.
look like? Figuring that out.
Um, well, I've already worked on that aspect of my music and I've gotten it to a really good place, but I feel as though I can take it to the next level. Have I if I actually sit down and, pick apart the past songs where I've used my pop sound. I just want to work on hitting higher notes and of course, the writing, like I said, the lyrics go hand in hand with the sound. So I want to I want to work on not so much saying the same thing over and over and feeling like a broken record and like I'm not really like I'm just making the same song over and over again. That's not sometimes I feel like that where I get caught in this bubble of making the same type of song over and over.
See, it's
And
hard too, because I know when it's catchy, it can be easier to
yeah,
do.
and that's the
A lot
thing.
of your songs are catchy.
Thank you, thank you. They're catchy, and that's why I get in this bubble of just making the same type of stuff. But it's like I've grown up as I've been making music. I'm only just now turning 19, so it's like where my mind is at now versus where where my mind was at before when I made those older songs isn't the same place. So I really just want to I really just want to, evolve the lyrics and the writing really, to just add that extra layer on top of my music as far as the pop sound goes. You know, it's the same thing all around with any sound that I'm gonna be doing. Really, that's where I want to take it.
So would you feel like a direction like Future, more so direction like, I don't know, like a Kendrick Lamar, like a mix? Like what if we could think of that sound or the genre of that message that you're trying to put out, what would that look like?
Think of think of Don Tolliver with a bit of Post Malone in there, and then Future too. Like, but the more hyper side of things, I want to just like smack you out of nowhere. Like I just wanted to, just hit I could be on, some smooth R&B type wave, and unexpectedly you just get hit with a hard song out of nowhere like a Future song.
Hmm.
And here it's it's good music and it sounds good, but if I actually take the time to add the extra layer where I'm saying things that are actually making you think and like, oh, he just said like what did you just say? Like I gotta rewind and hear that again. It's gonna hit you even harder. So that's where I'm at with it. Like I wanna take it there. That's the vision I have.
That's
Yeah.
dope. In a perfect world, what would be those different pieces that you need to put in place, or the team or the funding? What would need to be put in place to get you to that next level of your journey?
A good team, a good team, definitely. Funding is important. That's something I wish I knew. Uh but a good team around you is very, very important to the success of your career, because some things you just can't do alone, and it's important to recognize it. Like I know everybody wants to, be completely independent, and of course you should be independent. You shouldn't rely on people for things, but you also have to realize that certain aspects of the music just cannot be done alone. You need these fresh ears around you, not yes men. You need people that are actually going to be honest with you, so you can have proper feedback loop to be able to, work on your music properly. And and even when it comes to, promoting your music, you need the right people around you to be telling you the right things. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I dealt with my own situation where I didn't have that. And you know yeah, it's just the perfect, I wouldn't say the perfect team, but having the right team around you is important. Yeah.
Absolutely.
People
That's
that people
yeah.
that care, sorry not to cut you off,
No, go
but
ahead.
people that care about your music and treat you as a priority. You know, if you notice people aren't treating your music as a priority, and they're, doing weird things, and they're moving weird with you. Like, you don't be afraid to cut them off, because I've been in a situation where I bit my tongue before. I would never do it again. Don't be
Right.
afraid to cut somebody off.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting hearing you speak like this, because like you said, you're just about to turn 19. So that's still relatively young. What would you say to other people who are around your age who want to take music seriously and put content out there?
Hmm. I would say time waits for nobody. If you want to do it, you got to start now. Um, and disregard what people are saying. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to people talk, because no one truly knows what's the right thing to do. No one truly can tell you how you should be making music, or whatever. Like, it's your life. You only get one, so live it.
Facts.
That's
You
how I
get
feel.
one life. That's it. Gotta make the most of it every single day. I love that. So go ahead and plug it like it's hot for us. Where can we follow you? Where can we find your music?
You can find my music, Dell Corcetti, DEL space CORCETTI. That's also my at, but no space though. And Del Corcetti is where you can find me.
On all platforms.
All platforms everywhere. Del Corcetti.
I love that. You heard it from him. Go ahead and follow that. Stream the music. The support is crucial for these artists. And man, thank you so much for taking your time to chop it up with us. We really appreciated hearing a lot about your journey, and we're excited to see the next step in your evolution.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is a Who's Out exclusive, and we are out.
Getting cash, you living fast. I'm out of gun, just banging her body like somebody dead. I saw her the coupe, but she having a bitch, I'm not banging her back.